Apers. Nightclubs, eh? If you're in your 20s, you must be familiar with the nightclub experience. One of the most prominent institutions in youth society. A place to let yourself go, release all of that mad energy within you in one primal, delectable, uproarious night. And in our hometown of Gloucestershire, you can bet your ass we had a little nightclub of our own. Apers, it was called, and aptly named too, because when you're in there, you'd go absolutely ape. And that was where me and my friend Dennis were heading on one Saturday night. Almost there, mate. Yeah, nice. Wait, what do you reckon's going to happen this time then? I mean, last week there was that massive fight, and there was a girl getting all pissy with the bouncer. Yeah, man, she was not happy. Do you think anything mad like that's going to happen this time? I don't know, mate. I'm just ready to have a few drinks, really. Don't really give a shit. Are you going to try and, what, mate? Well, what are you saying, mate? What's the matter? Alright, yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe not. Again, I just want to get fucked up, really. Just been paid, no work tomorrow, I'm happy. Alright, yeah, fair enough, I get it. What about yourself, mate? You gonna try something? Oh, yeah, man, sure. Again, like you, just have to see what happens, really. You never know. We'd gotten into town and were just walking down the sloped pavement towards the entrance to Apers. As we got closer, we could hear the faint thumping of lively pop music getting louder and louder. We were walking along the walls of the club now. I could feel the bricks vibrating. It was almost as if the building itself was pulsating with the adolescent bliss exuding from the festivities within. Walking along those walls and hearing the rising volume of the music, my stomach began to twist a little. I was starting to get a little nervous, I've been looking forward to this night for the back end of last week, but now that we were actually right outside the club, it was... I don't know. Hey Dennis, slow down a minute here, let's just chill here a sec. Why? What's going on? Nothing, just want to chill here a sec. Oh, you're getting nervous again? A little bit. I told you should have had more reprise. Mate, it's fine, we'll go in a sec. Then I spotted a familiar face. Oh, nice one, it's Mike. Oh shit, here he is again. Mike Spikes was a massive crackhead, if we're being honest, but we sort of knew him at this point because he'd always be stood right outside Apers every time we went in, and we'd always chat with him a little bit. He was a friendly enough guy, spoke a lot of random shit, but he was sound with us. You right, Mike? How's it going? Yeah, man, you're right. The entrance is right there. That's another thing. Mike would mostly just repeat this same phrase over and over again when we tried to speak with him. The entrance is right there, and he'd be pointing over to Apers. He'd do this every time, it was really weird. I don't think he'd ever actually been inside either. He'd just always be stood right outside by the door, but he'd never actually go in. The entrance is right there. Oh, and sometimes he'd do it in an American accent as well. Right there. Oh, he might, mate. Eggy's just a bit nervous, he just wants to stay out here for a bit. The entrance is right there. Right, I think we're going to go in now. Have a nice one, Mike. Come on, Eggy. There were two bouncers by the see-through double doors that led into Apers. They stood so still and stiff that they could have been mistaken for concrete pillars that were adjoined to the entrance of the building. Wrapped under thick black fleeces, identical in both bulkiness and facial expression, dissimilar only in hair length. One had a shaggy mop of black curls atop his head, the other had no hair at all. The hairy bouncer asked to see our IDs, as was the usual procedure. Once we'd proven our age, we were let into the first part of the club, which was this small room with a desk where a woman would stamp our hands with a small picture of a chimpanzee to mark us as official Apers guests. With these stamps, you'll now have access to all of the guest facilities of our fine establishment. Enjoy your time at Apers, gentlemen. Thanks, we both said. We then proceeded down this long black hallway that would take us to where the action was happening. Walking down this hallway made you feel as though you were playing Laser Quest, just in how darkly it was lit and how high above your head the ceiling was. The floor of the hallway was slanted down like one long ramp and had small circular floor lights emitting a purple-pink glow that lined either side of the corridor, almost like a tacky airport runway made for porn stars. As we descended down this purple ramp, the humming of the music became more and more intrusive to the eardrum, until there was no humming at all, but instead a potent cascade of thumping, banging and blasting. After making it to the end of the hallway, Dennis and I then had to make a sharp double left turn around a corner, which led us to an identical hallway which was now pointed in the opposite direction to the first. After navigating down the second hallway, we finally emerged at an opening that revealed to us the heart of Apers. Before us was a giant oval-shaped room, perfectly symmetrical with its placement of furniture, all of which was aligned to orbit a secondary inner oval shape that was the dance floor. Looking at the place, you'd think you're inside one giant rugby ball, as even the ceiling curved up into itself with perfect precision. There seemed to be no hard edges or corners inside, just one eternally arcing black-purple wall. The curved ceiling was adorned with hundreds of small lights that were clearly meant to mimic stars. Somewhere a fog machine was powered on, as there was water vapour everywhere, so much so that I could feel a cough brewing in my throat. The air was rife with the smell of vodka, rum, fizzy drinks, aftershave, perfume, and most prominently, human sweat. The place was brimming with lively attendees of every sort. Every direction you looked in, you'd see people. Dancing people, singing people, shouting people, drunk people, high people, horny people. All manner of behaviours were in great abundance down here. It was at this moment when Dennis tapped me on the shoulder and did a hand gesture that resembled drinking from a glass. "Let's get a drink," he was saying without words. It was just so much more simpler than shouting it down my ear. We made our way to the bar, which was on the other side of the room. As I walked, I had my eyes on the dancers on the dance floor, and my stomach began to twist again. However, I was also met with this sense of excitement and an eagerness to get stuck in. For now, however, we could stay over near the bar area where you'd be a little more hidden. We reached the bar, which, in keeping with the aesthetic of the club, was one large bending snake of glass over top black laminated wood which lined the whole far end of the room. Breast high this wall stood, and the only line of defence the bar staff had against the mighty waves of drunkards. It was at this bending bar where me and Dennis waited to order some drinks. A few moments went by. I tried to engage Dennis in conversation to help with the waiting. We talked about whatever we could think of, really. However, throughout the entire conversation, Dennis seemed partially distracted. He kept gazing off in this one particular direction, as if in some sort of trance, like he'd seen a goofy ghost or something. It was odd, he'd seemed fine up until now. A few more moments passed, and it was around this time where I heard a familiar sound coming from behind me.
"And here he is again,"
the jovial voice said. I turned around. Atop this well-dressed mountain resided the friendly face of Thaddeus Malcolm.
"The madman Eggy has decided to grace us with his presence once more."
"Oh, no way! Thaddeus, how you doing?"
"Oh, I am well, my good friend."
"Oh, goody, are you guys in for a treat?" Thaddeus Malcolm was a friend Dennis and I knew from high school. If Cool and Awesome had a baby, Thaddeus was it. A silver-tongued devil he was, always had the slickest things to say. Probably one of the most popular boys in our year, and I was friends with him. It was like being in with royalty.
"Dennis, always a pleasure to see you, sir."
Right, Thaddeus, what are you saying?
"Not too much, my good sir. I was just perusing tonight's catalogue of possibilities when I spotted you two mavericks. Pray tell, what drinks are you guys getting?"
I think we're just on beers tonight, but it's taken ages to get served. Yeah, man, we've been waiting time.
"Oh, that won't be a problem. Bartender."
Somehow, over all the noise, Thaddeus's voice rose above all else, and the girl at the bar immediately turned to meet his eyes.
3 cold bear beers, no straws."
Where me and Dennis had our chimpanzee passes, Thaddeus had a different stamp. His was a picture of a gorilla. Say, Thaddeus, what's that stamp you got there? It's different to ours.
"Oh yes, this little thing. This is an Apers VIP stamp. It gives you access to all of the luxurious VIP facilities the club has to offer."
What VIP facilities you on about?
"Well, for one, it grants you your own private booth. Additionally, you have access to the secret snooker room, and you get to play on some of the slot machines, all for the steal price of $34.99.
That's mental. Our beers arrived in a matter of seconds.
"Thanks, Angel. So, my chums, high time we got ourselves a few scores, do you not think?"
Oh yeah, this was another thing. Being the charmer that he was, Thaddeus was quite popular with the ladies, if you know what I mean. In fact, according to legend, he once pulled 10 different girls in the same night at a house party. Guy was a hero.
"What say you, boys? Want to try your luck? I foresee great success tonight."
Ooh, yeah man, can do if you want. I think that's a good idea. What do you reckon, Dennis? Looking back over at Dennis, I could see he was in his trance again. Yeah man. Now you know what, mate, I'm just going to nip to the toilet. I'll catch up with you guys in a bit. Oh, okay.
"No sweat, my good sir."
Alright, yeah, see you in a sec.
"So, Eggy, how about it? You and me, partners in crime, shall we show these lasses what we're made of?"
Ooh, yeah lad, fuck it, let's do it.
"Well, follow me then, and watch and learn."
So me and the Thad went straight into the thick of the dance floor. I was still a bit nervous, but having Thaddeus there by my side made it way easier. He was the coolest guy in the club after all. We'd be unstoppable. Stood at the heart of the party, we were all coated with this purple glow of club lights. The dance floor itself was this flat spread of large squares that were all constantly flashing different colours. Every so often, however, the squares would all flash the same colour in unison just to add some flair to the light show.
"Remember, Eggy, it all starts with some simple eye contact. Don't be afraid to have a good look around, and when you see a girl you like the look of, lock on to the target."
Right, yeah, will do, mate. Okay, let's have a look-see.
"Take your time and identify a target."
Thaddeus said with a hand on my shoulder. Ooh, you see her over there? She's not bad.
Ah, yes. Good eye, Eggy. Good eye indeed.
Yeah, cheers. So now what?
Now you establish eye contact.
I feel a bit weird though.
Nonsense. Watch me.
What I'd then witnessed Thaddeus do was nothing short of pure charismatic brilliance. He started by eyeing this girl up.
Yeah.
The girl spotted Thaddeus looking at her and started doing the same in his direction.
First contact established. Time to engage.
Yeah, go get her!
Here goes.
Once Thaddeus was done pulling, the two seemed to exchange phone numbers, and then Thaddeus left the girl and returned.
See, my friend, it's not all that complicated.
That was absolutely amazing. I can't believe it.
Oh, don't be silly, it's simple. All you need to do afterwards, however, is exchange contact information, then tell her you're going to message her in the morning. That way she won't pester you for the rest of the evening.
Oh, you gotta do that again, man. The girl over there, do her.
Oh, Eggy, please, you must calm yourself.
Nah, come on, man, she's looking at you.
Ah, indeed she is. Well, seeing as though the opportunity has bestowed itself upon me.
He goes over to the second girl. Now, this girl was something. I mean, the first girl was really nice too, but this girl was... Get away! Oh my god. He did the usual song and dance with the contact info, and then he headed back.
Ah, she was a hearty one.
Dude, that was unbelievable. I'm astonished. The way you, I'm just... Oh my god.
I am proud of myself for that one. She was a looker.
Oh, mate, I've spotted one even better. You see that one over there?
Eggy, I think I've had my fill for this evening.
Oh, come on, man. Just one more. She's really hot, this one. Look, please do this for me.
Well, I suppose one more for good measure.
And off he went again. Now, this pull was swifter and smoother than both the previous ones. It couldn't have been more than 15 seconds in the time it took for him to complete the task.
And so he was the son of God!
The instant their lips touched, the dance floor lights all flashed this harsh pink-red in unison. It was quite something. My night was made after that. I could go home a happy man.
Ah, that was a lucrative game indeed, but I think that is all for me tonight.
Oh, no worries, man. You were amazing out there. I only wish Dennis could have seen that. I'd only just noticed, but Dennis still hadn't returned from the loo, and it had to have been at least an hour.
Come, it's time we let the council know of tonight's exploits.
Oh, of course, the council, or the Coolio Council, as I think some used to call it. It was a group of lads led by Thaddeus. Among them were some of the most high-status men from our town, all possessing dashing looks and insatiable charm. On nights like these, the council would usually be stationed at their specially designated booth within Apers, and that's where we'd be heading now. We got to the booth, and there they sat. They seemed to be in the midst of a heavy discussion, which of course all ceased once they saw Thaddeus approach.
How are we tonight, boys?
Good, sir, they all responded in unison. I felt quite out of place to be in the presence of such men. There was Callum Brocklehurst. Hello there, Eggy. Zachary Greaves. You're right there, Eggy. Sam Treacle. Hello there, Eggy. Grayson Loud. You're right there, Eggy. And finally, there was Edwin Vermont, who was the group's designated muscle and weapons specialist. Some say he carried with him a gun that fired rubber bullets, which he'd draw every time the Coolio Council came under threat. Edwin didn't speak much. Matter of fact, I couldn't remember having ever heard him say anything at all. I couldn't even tell you what his voice sounded like. So, Thaddeus, have anything to add to the charts? Sam asked. Ah, very good. That puts you on top for tonight. Callum almost bagged himself a hat-trick, but that last one was a little bit too coy, he tells me.
Well, better luck next time, Callum.
Thought I'd have you this time, you twat.
Well, doesn't sound like it was your fault. You know how flippant these women can be. They've no idea what they want.
What about you, Eggy? Got anything to add to the pull tally? Zach asked, smirkingly. In that moment, all of the lads' heads immediately turned to look at me. Yeah, I mean, there were a few that caught my eye, but, they're all surrounded by other lads, so... alright, I see. Wasn't a big fan of Zach. He was very cocky, and every time he spoke to me, it was as if he was taking the piss. Yeah, a bit of a knob, that Zach. Oh, and Thaddeus, some news, Sam announced. There have been reports of brown hood trouble in the smoking area. I've just gotten a text from Gloria Heineken. She says that Clegg and his crew are harassing her. Apparently Clegg put hands on her.
Damn, again with the brown hoods.
The brown hoods were another faction of sorts within our community, so named because of the dark brown hoods a lot of their members would wear. Damn chavs, Zach muttered.
Well, gentlemen, seems like our skills are needed over in the smoking area. Are you all with me?
The Coolio Council gave a collective nod and all began to rustle out of the round booth. I was right behind Callum Brocklehurst when we entered the smoking area. There, Eggers. Fret not. Your lungs will adjust in time. Despite the smoke, I plunged on with the council. There were so many people, so many smokers, and where there weren't smokers, there were vapours, and they were even worse because they didn't care whether they blew it right in your face. Just then, a girl with nose rings and half a head of pink hair approached me.
Pink water vapour right in my fucking face.
Oh, keep up, Eggers, Callum barked. I arrived at an opening amidst the crowd where I saw all of the Coolio Council lined up in a defensive wall of Chad, all eyes glaring at the group of lads stood opposite them, the Brown Hoods.
Yeah, come here, you, yeah.
Get away from me!
Unhand her, Clegg.
Yeah? Oh, well, if it ain't the Cock and Ball Council. Clegg was the leader of the Brown Hoods. Clegg Demick, his full name was. The foulest lad in all the land.
This has gone on far enough, Clegg. It's one thing talking shit to a girl, but another thing entirely to assault her.
The Gloria girl came running to Thad's side.
Oh, thank you, Thaddeus Malcolm, thank you. He was threatening to give me a black eye.
That's a lying, cheating bitch you got there, Malcolm. Can't believe nothing come out her cake hole.
You vermin, Clegg. I never want to see you in Apers again.
Oh, you want us to leave, do you? Is that the truth? You're trash, Clegg, Callum said. This is a new low even for you, mate, Zach added. Utter debauchery, Sam chimed in with. With everyone having a go, I thought I'd give him my 2 cents. Unbelievable, this.
What'd you say, mate?
What? No, just unbelievable all this, innit?
Who's this? New recruit for the gay army? I didn't know you were making friends with 15-year-olds, Malcolm. Ah, kid, you think I'm unbelievable, do you? Well, let me tell you something. If you had a fucking sword, you'd stab too.
Oh, leave Eggy alone, you little rat!
I sort of stepped down after that. This obviously wasn't my fight. As they argued, my eyes wandered to the crowds around me. I could see over by the corner of the smoking area there was this big hefty bloke sat on a stool staring into space while this girl chatted his ear off. I wondered what they were talking about. Then I realised who the chunky bloke was who was sat there. It was no other than James Whale. Jig Whale getting all that lip off a girl and just taking it like that. No way. Moments later, Jig got up off his stool and just walked out the smoking area with this blank expression on his face. I wonder what all that was about.
Now fuck off out of my face before I kick off!
I heard Clegg yell, immediately bringing my attention back to the dispute in front of me.
Oh, I'd hate to suffer the wrath of the fearsome Clegg Demick.
Do him, Clegg, one of Clegg's followers yelled. Thaddeus and this Clegg boy then locked eyes and maintained an intense stare that felt like it lasted hours. And then I noticed my old friend Josh was stood there with the Brown Hoods.
Oi, Josh, mate, not seen you in a while, how are you?
Not bad, mate, not bad. The staring match continued.
You ain't got the stones to fight me, Malcolm.
I've had enough of this. Clegg, do everyone a favour and fuck off out of here.
Lads!
Just then, Clegg and the 2 lads either side him pulled out knives. I mean, 2 knives really, one was just a really sharp front door key. The 3 lads ran at Thaddeus in a surprise attack. Then, seemingly out of nowhere, as swift as a serpent, Edwin Vermont stepped forth.
Ah, shit! Ah! Oh, fuck!
The Brown Hoods then scurried out of the club like a pack of frightened squirrels.
Yeah, we'll get you for this one day, Thaddeus! Just you wait!
That was quite a handful. Nice shooting, Edwin.
I was amazed. I couldn't believe what just happened. What a night. 3 pulls and an epic shootout. I couldn't see this being top for a good while. Couldn't wait to tell Dennis. Oh shit, yeah, Dennis. You've been gone this whole time. That was the Apers closing time alarm. You know, I hadn't noticed the time fly by like that. It was 11:30 already.
Well, come on, lads. Time to go. Come along, you.
Oh, Thaddeus, you're so brave. Everyone in the club began drifting towards the exit. The Coolio Council and I formed an entourage behind Thaddeus as we all made our way out. Thaddeus led the company with Gloria closely beside him. You did a good job of handling that, Thad.
Thanks, Callum, but I need no applause for chasing off vermin.
Oh, you're so cool, Thaddeus. What a night it had been. We were all walking through the zigzag corridor when I asked, "Oh, have any of you seen Dennis? It's been quite a while. I hope he's alright."
Oh, I think he's doing just fine, Eggy.
Thaddeus remarked as he bobbed his head forward, directing our attention further up the hallway where we saw Dennis with a girl pulling. Oh, wow. Hey, that's Zara Ruddery.
Looks like our friend Dennis is up the ruddy.
The entire entourage laughed in unison. Yeah. Dennis and the Zara girl were quite heavily going at it. It was some very passionate stuff. Good for you, Dennis. Once the two noticed that the corridor was no longer private, they quickly remembered where they were and stopped. The Zara girl hastily strutted out of the club while Dennis stayed put. "Well in there, Pencil," Zack chirped as we approached the lucky boy. "You right, guys?"
Nicely going, my good sir. How'd all this happen then?
"I dunno, mate. Mad, innit? Just bumped into her and got chatting."
You little charmer, you.
Yeah. Oi, could you guys just excuse me a minute? Oi, Eggy, I'm not going to be coming back to the gaff tonight, so see you tomorrow or something. Thaddeus and his followers all let out a strange roar of excitement when hearing that. The group's congratulatory chant championed Dennis's departure from the club, and then my friend was gone.
Ah, a fruitful night indeed, eh, Eggy?
Yeah, what a night. One for the history books. Once we were stood in the chilly outdoors, Thaddeus asked,
So, Eggy, how are you getting home?
"Oh, I'll just walk."
I don't envy you. Sounds like you have a cold and lonely road ahead of you, chap.
Nah, I'll be fine. I'll see you guys next week, maybe. And into the night, a cumbersome 30-minute journey ahead of me, I strode. And as I drifted further and further from Apers, the frenzied heartbeat of music began to cease.